Top 5 ways to sell sneakers in 2022. Let's get it. In a past video, we talked about the 3 things that are the most important whenever it comes to buying and selling sneakers. We talked about doing your homework, we talked about getting in the footwork, and then we touched on network. This video is going to be all about the network portion. For me, the network portion revolves all around selling the shoes, which as a reseller, that's the end goal, right? These are 5 ways that work for me and have worked for me in the past, so I'm going to share those with you guys. In general, these are going to be in order from worst to best. So this number 1 way to sell sneakers in 2022 is the way that I find the most profitable. Before we get started, if you need to take a look back at that video that revolves around homework and footwork, tap the link above here. And if you have watched it already, you're 1 step closer to being ready to sell some shoes. Coming in at number 5, we've got the SneakerCon app. The SneakerCon app is a good platform to buy and sell shoes. I have purchased shoes from the SneakerCon app myself. I have not sold anything on there yet. The seller fee on the SneakerCon app is 8%. 8% comes in relatively low compared to some of the other resale apps, but the inventory and the variety for buyers just isn't there. The SneakerCon app hasn't blown up enough yet for there to be plenty of inventory for buyers to choose from, and therefore the prices that the sellers are fetching are not as desirable. Another enticing thing about the SneakerCon app is as a buyer, you're only going to get hit with a $20 fee whenever you purchase a new pair of sneakers. There's still the process of SneakerCon becoming the middleman in the sneaker deal, authenticating the shoes and shipping them to you, but you're only paying $20 instead of getting hit with multiple fees and shipping. I believe the SneakerCon app could gain popularity over time. It's just right now we have 2 other apps that have taken the majority of the market. One of those apps is coming in at number 4, it's StockX. StockX is a great platform to sell on. I'm not gonna lie, I've sold plenty of pairs on there, I've sold clothes on there as well. It's an easy way to move Supreme gear, it's an easy way to move dead stock shoes, and the seller fee ranges anywhere from 8 to 10%. The one cool thing about StockX is that they give you an incentive based on how many pairs you've sold and how many successful transactions you've had. You can look up directly on their site how many sales it's going to take to get your seller level to a point where you can reduce your seller fees. Unlike the SneakerCon app, StockX does have the popularity, it's got the inventory, and therefore has plenty of buyers and sales. Here comes the bad part. There is a processing fee whenever you transfer your funds from the StockX app to your bank account. That transfer of funds fee is 3%. When you go to cash out, you're surrendering more of your profits. On the flip side of this, the buyer is also paying taxes, fees, and shipping on StockX. As a seller, you want to be able to provide the lowest price to a customer, but also maximize your profits. It's tough to do that on these apps whenever the buyer's getting hit with fees and the seller's getting hit with fees. It's just widening the gap. StockX is easy to list on though. You don't have to take pictures of your shoes. They're authenticated once they get to StockX, and they provide you with a shipping label and a packing slip. The convenience and the amount of customers that you can reach with your shoes on StockX is really hard to beat. Coming in at number 3 is the Go app. I've sold a lot of shoes on the Go app. The only real complaint other than the fees for me is the customer service. The customer service goes a long way. If the seller has a good reputation, it would really be nice for customer support to stand behind the seller. I've had a couple bad experiences with Go, and the lack of customer service is a serious issue. I'm not out here to fire shots at Go by any means. It's just a problem, and maybe it's something where their company expanded too fast. They just couldn't compensate for the rapid growth. And as we know now, Goat and Flight Club have joined forces, I guess you could say. And I love the convenience of selling on Goat. I don't have to take pictures of my shoes as long as they're listed as dead stock. I've got them new in box. You can actually list quantities on Goat too once you hit a certain seller level, but you cannot reduce your commission fee. It would be nice if you could reduce that commission fee. So you're stuck at 9.5% as a seller. Then you're also forfeiting a $5 fee as long as you're shipping your shoes from the United States. Different countries, different areas, different states even have different rates. So 9.5% and that $5 fee, or whatever your rate is based on your locality, comes right off the top of your sale. Just like StockX, you have a cash out fee. It's 2.9% on Go, 0.1% lower. Still, super convenient, a lot of reach with this app. It's very easy to sell shoes on there. I reach out to apps like Goat and StockX whenever I've got pairs of shoes that I've held for a long time, they've matured a lot, and I know I can get top dollar for them. Same deal with StockX. The buyer on Goat is getting hit with tax and shipping. It's widening the gap. It makes it harder for sellers to want to go to a platform like that and sell shoes and maximize their profit. But again, shipping label, packing slip, super convenient. They authenticate the shoes. It gives that buyer a little bit of confidence that they're getting authentic shoes. Overall, great app to sell on. Just not necessarily the place if you're looking for low margin quick flips, or if you just simply don't have a huge margin on a pair of shoes in general. The second best way to sell sneakers for me would be on Facebook Marketplace or on sneaker pages. Join a group, meet people, but be careful. Know who you're talking to, buying or selling. You're gonna have to use payment platforms such as PayPal. I don't even want to say Venmo or Cash App. It's super sketchy, especially if you're dealing with a person for the first time. You want to have something like a PayPal invoice to guarantee you that you, one, get your shoes, and two, that you don't lose your money. With that being said, you're also gonna have to factor in shipping. So you might gain back that 8 to 10% that you're losing on apps like GOAT and StockX, but you still have to remember that you're shipping your shoes and you're gonna have to cover that label versus just paying that flat fee to a third party like GOAT or StockX. But you don't have to wait for your funds to clear and the money goes directly to you. Don't send somebody money that you've never done business with before you get references or an invoice. And coming in at number one, the best way to sell sneakers in 2022, always in person. Nothing trumps in person. You don't have to mess with fees. You can get cash right now on the spot. You can judge authenticity right now on the spot. If you're unsure about authenticity, use your resources. Post the sneakers, get references of the seller, use Check. It's a good app. It's not 100% reliable, but you can send Check pictures of shoes. They'll let you know within a pretty quick time frame whether or not they believe that they're authentic. Again, meeting people in person, you've got to be careful. If you're meeting somebody from Facebook, check references. Meet in a well-lit public place. Safety is an issue whenever it comes to selling shoes, believe it or not. It shouldn't have to be that way. These in-person sales could also be with sneaker stores. You could develop a good relationship with a local sneaker store, and they normally cash out pretty well. Sneaker stores normally pay close to what the payout would be if you were to sell on apps that we talked about before, such as StockX or GOAT. They're going to get close and they're going to give you cash right now on the spot, but you need to understand that they've got to make money too. And for me, where I've been most successful is sneaker conventions. Buy a vendor table, fairly low cost. Take the shoes you plan on selling and sell them in person, face to face. Most of the sneaker conventions have authentication tables. SneakerCon, for example, has an eBay booth set up where they authenticate shoes the entire length of the show. That way your buyer can have confidence that they're buying real shoes and you're getting cash right now on the spot. No fees, no shipping, no taxes. That's obviously the best way to go. And that way you don't have that large gap that's created with StockX and GOAT. You don't have the fees for the buyer and you don't have the fees for the seller. That way you can come together and you can give your buyer a better price, but you can still clear a better margin. Me personally, I'm listing my long-term holds on GOAT or StockX, whichever one fetches a higher price, but I'm always going to try to sell in person first, whether that be to a sneaker store in most cases or at a convention. That pretty much covers the whole network portion of buying and selling sneakers. If you have any questions, drop a comment below or DM me on Instagram. The handle is the same at @allabsneakers. Make sure you drop a sub if you haven't already, and hopefully you guys utilize this all of 2022 and you make some money. So thank you for watching, and do not forget, this is all about sneakers.